We're starting with a simple ADF application that we built, and what we're going to do is we're going to integrate some PeopleSoft data into the system. So we're going to start by creating a new web service data control. So this is under the business services. There's a web service entry and there's a web service data control. I'm going to call it PeopleSoft, or PDFT in this case. And then we're just going to paste the URL for a WSDL that PeopleSoft exposes. When we tab out of the field, JDeveloper goes, analyzes the WSDL, and finds out which methods are actually exposed there. And we're going to pick those three methods, move them to the right, go through the wizard. There's a place here where you can actually specify username and password if you need those in order to invoke your web service. And then when you click Finish, JDeveloper basically creates a data control that allows you to have easy access to the web service and to the methods when you're building a user interface. So here's our data control, and we can see the three methods and also three parameters that we can use for those methods. So in our page, we're going to simply add another tab to our user interface, and let's invoke one of those methods. So this is the find method, and it has a parameter which is of complex type, and it has several parameters inside it, and we simply drag it over and create a form that allows us to insert values for any of those attributes. Next step is to actually go to the method itself, okay, and drag it over to the page, and this time we're going to drop it as a button. You can also drop it as a link, and you can see the parameter is basically going to be based on the object of the page. And then the return value from this method, we're going to drag this over, let's say as a table component, like a read-only table component, and we can enable behaviors on this table. Click OK, and that's basically it. We can save everything and just go and run our page. So when the browser comes up, we can switch to the tab that actually accesses the web service. And we get all the employees at the beginning. We can actually scroll through them like that. Or we can do actual find operation. So let's look for Scott. Click the button, and we're getting only the results for employees whose POP name is Scott. Nice, so this is a web user interface. Now let's see how would we actually go about building a mobile user interface for PeopleSoft. So we're going to simply create a new project in JDeveloper, and this is going to be a web project. We're going to use ADF Mobile browser. Okay, name it whatever you want. The technology that we're going to use is based on JSF. Okay, and in terms of component, we're going to use the Trinidad set of components. Those are actually able to render across devices. We're going to give a shorter name to our J2E module. It would make it easier to type it in mobile devices. And then we're just going to do something very similar to what we did before. We're going to create a new JSF page, but we're going to click this Render in Mobile Device checkbox. Okay, it's still the same visual editor, but we can resize it to look at specific screen size. Right? And in terms of the actual development process, it's exactly the same as before. We're going to take the parameter, right, drop it as a form. This time it's going to be a Trinidad form and not an ADF rich client form. Next step is to take the actual method and drag and drop it, this time as, let's say, a button. Okay, again, Trinidad button. And next we're going to take the results and drop them as a table. So basically the same development approach. We just click Save and we run it. When we run it, we'll have a URL that will enable us to actually access the page and invoke it from a browser, but also from the browsers that are located on mobile devices. So we'll just copy this URL that we can see in the browser. And we're going to go to an iPhone emulator, click on the browser in the iPhone, paste the URL, and invoke it. And we basically get the same page. We can again search for Scott and get the details in the table. We can also switch to another device. So let's switch over to the Palm Pre device. Or to the BlackBerry device. Okay, again, putting the same thing. This time we're searching for Kim. Okay. Now again, search for Scott, click the button, and the same application runs on various devices in their browser.